Hello everyone, I'm Jagdish Chopde. Welcome you all in this class 6 of reactjs training for beginners. Now in last class, we covered props, short for properties. Now in this class 6, we will cover children props. So let's get started. Now let's progress with our Udemy application. In last class, we added the list of all the courses. Now here in this class, I would like to add the cards for all these course names. For that, I will go into this course item component from which we are printing the name of the class. And first of all, I will delete this commented line which we added in last class. Now to include this course name in a card style, first of all, I will enclose this in a div. So here, let's add one div, and inside that I will add this course name. And to this div, let's provide one class by using class name. Let's call that CSS class as card. And for that, let's define the CSS. And as of now, we do not have any CSS file here for the course item. So let's create one CSS file. Now in this course item folder, I will right click and create a new file. And let's call this as course item.css, matching the component name. Now inside this CSS, let's provide the CSS class named card. Here, dot card. First of all, I would like to define a border. So here, border, let's say 2 pixel solid, and the color I will give my theme color, which is blue violet. Let's save this, and we will not going to see the effect here because first of all we need to import this file in our course item in order for those classes to be available in this file. For that, at the top of this component file, let's import the CSS file. Now it is available in the same directory, and the name is course item.css. Save this, and we will see the styles are getting applied. Now next, these are too close to each other. Let's provide some margin. So here, let's provide a margin of, let's say, 20 pixels. We have sufficient space between the elements. Now here, these course names are too close to its border. Let's provide some spacing in between it. For that, let's add padding. Let's say 10 pixels. It's looking good. Next, let's add rounded borders to these cards. For that, I will add border radius. Let's say 10 pixels. Save this, and we got nice rounded borders. Now along with the same, I want to add a background color to this card. For that, let's add a background color, and as the initial value, let's add blue violet as our theme color. And once we save this, it is too dark. I want to provide a little lighter color. I want to provide a color in between the background and my main primary accent color. For that, here using color picker, I will choose a color something lighter. Let's try this. They're looking good. Next, I would also like to provide a shadow to these cards. For that, I will use box shadow property, and I will provide this value, and let's test this. And I got a nice shadow to my cards. The same shadow I would like to provide to my header also, my app bar. For that, let's navigate to header component, and here to this header I want to provide that shadow. For that, we are using app bar class. Now let's navigate to the header.css file. Here we have this app bar class. Inside this, let's provide the box shadow. Let's provide the same value. Save this, and we will see the shadow is getting applied to the app bar. And let's remove this extra semicolon from here. Save this. With this, we got nice cards to all our course items. Now next, I want to add a login button here in the app component. For that here, after order list, I will add one HR horizontal ruler. And after that, inside this div, I will add one H1. Let's say hello guest inside it. And here at the bottom, I will create a button. Let's call this as login. Save this and we will see this UI. Now I want to be consistent and want to include these contents also in the similar cards. For this, definitely we can copy this card style and can include this in this app component also and can provide it to this div. But going forward, I'm planning to use the similar card for all rest of the components also. And after that, if we thought to make any changes in the card styling, then repeating those in all those rest of the places would not be practical. To overcome this, we can create a separate component, and the responsibility of that card component will be to provide this card like style. Now this will be a UI only component because it will not going to have any content, neither the functionality. So let's create one component in our component folder. Now as this card will be our UI only component, I will create a separate file for organizing all the UI related components. Inside this UI folder, let's create a separate folder for card component. Inside this card folder, let's add a file and let's call it card.jsx. Inside this file, let's create a component function and let's call it card. I do not have any parameter as of now, and from this I will return a JSX. Now that JSX will be this div with this card class applied. Let's cut this from here and let's move this here inside this card component. And we again have to move this class in this component only. For that, let's create a CSS file also here in this card folder. So let's create a file called card.css. And before we forget, let's import this from here. Import from the same directory card.css. And along with the same, as this component is complaining that card is declared but its value never used, let's export this component from here because we are intended to use this outside this file. With that, that error is gone. And after that, let's move that card CSS from this course item to the dedicated card.css file. And after that, let's use the card component here. For that, here, once I type card, the VS Code is already giving me suggestion of auto import. It is giving me the suggestion, do you intend to import this card component which is at this path UI card folder and then card.jsx. If I click on this or hit tab, it will automatically import that component. And after that, we can use it here. So let's replace it with this closing div. Now if we save all the files, we can see the cards are appearing, but we are not seeing any content inside it. That is because right now the card component is not displaying anything. And of course, we are passing props.course name to this card, but here we are not capturing anything and neither we are displaying anything. So if we write any value inside this div, we will see the same is appearing in all the cards. Now, how to capture this course name right inside this card? For that, as we already saw, we can take help of props. So I will cut this value and we can provide that by using property. Let's say course name. And to that, we can pass the same props. This concept is also called as a props dealing. That means we are receiving the props from parent and then we are just forwarding that prop to the nested component. Now we can copy this exact name from here and the same we can capture here in the card component by using props. The same we can display it here by using expressions. So I can write props dot the same property which we copied. And now if we save this, we will start seeing the actual course name here. With that, let's enclose this content, this login content also within the card. For that, we already created this reusable card as we already know. The same I will import it here. So here, this div I will replace with the card. So instead of this div, let's use the card. And here I will use this auto import and I will cross check the respective path. So I intend to import the card from components course item UI. And at this point, I realized that I created this UI folder inside the course item folder instead of components. No problem, we can correct it. So here, I will get back to the div as of now and save this. And then I will drag this UI folder into this components folder. And it is asking me, are you sure you want to move UI into components? I will confirm. And we can see the UI folder got moved into components folder. And along with the same, VS Code help us to correct all the import paths as we can see here. With this corrected, let's add this card here for this login button. So instead of this div, I will try to import card and now it is giving me this suggestion and giving me the right path. It's components folder, inside that UI folder, then card folder and inside that card.jsx component. Let's click on this or hit tab and the card component automatically imported. After that, let's close this and let's replace that div, this closing card tag. And let's save this and the card got appeared here, but I am not seeing any content. That is because as of now, this card is taking this prop course name, which of course we are not passing here to this card. And definitely we do not want to create a separate card for displaying these content. Again, even if we create and decided to pass any props, we cannot pass JSX elements as a props. Now to solve this issue, we can take help of children props. So whenever we use any user defined components like card, and if we are passing any content inside the opening and closing tag of the component, then all the inner content gets automatically passed to that user defined component in a special prop called children, which we can capture here as a part of this props. So here, instead of this course name, we can use children props, which is a special prop. Now if we save this, you will instantly see all that JSX which we are passing here to this card component are getting displayed here. With the same, of course, these course names are not appearing here because we are not printing it. To fix this, here also, instead of passing this as a property, let's use this as a children here inside this card. and remove this property. With this change, if we save, then we will see all the codes names are now appearing. And now this card component is completely reusable container component, which we can use for enclosing any UI in the card like style. Now point to remember, this children prop is the inbuilt props which React passes here to this user defined component, and we cannot change the name of this prop, or we cannot use any another name for this. And this concept is called as a children props, or concept of composition in React. Now as the last point, I can see there is inconsistent top and bottom spacing here in this card. So as of now, as a workaround, I will just add a couple of BR here just to fill that gap. And that's all for this class. In next class, we will see arrow function syntax for defining components. Thank you.